Hello everybody, my name is Mateo Leon Rodriguez and welcome back to my Authortube channel. In today's video, I thought it would be a fun idea to take you guys through my writing journey, beginning with this notebook. That's right, this writing journal was the first thing I wrote all my stories in. And, fun fact, the way I wrote journal on the cover is G-U-R-N-A-L-L. With that out of the way, let's open this thing up and see what's inside. The first thing we see is my very fancy, very professional index page. As you can see, it was not a very big list. The list includes The Power, Story 1, Ghost Mutt, Story 2, The Ghost in Dead Street, Story 3, and finally, we have Tuesday, spelled TWO''S Day, story number 4. Now, before I get to the first story, let me just preface this by saying this was written in 2011. I was around 11 at that time, so if it's bad, it's probably because I was 11, but maybe not. Let's get started. By the way, if I pause, it's because I'm changing a name for the sake of privacy, because I did include people from my real life. Anyway, let's get into it. The Power by Mateo Leon Rodriguez. It was a normal day when suddenly a beam of light struck me. As I was watching my favorite TV show, Aaron suddenly didn't see a part, so I showed him Kamehameha. When I did, I blew up the fence. So I just went, you're never gonna arrest me. So I teleported. Ah, lion. So I went and looked at my tools. Huh, Pokeballs. Okay. I chose Pikachu and he got knocked out. Go, Pokeballs. It actually got captured. Okay. Cool. Lion. Just then, one of my classmates named Francis, he disappeared. I was confused. Where was I? Am I in this African safari? I need help and fast. Finally, I went to look for someone I could trust. I couldn't get, and then it just cuts off. So clearly, you could see what my favorite TV shows were at the time. So, some notes about the story. So, in the story, in my head, I was thinking, what if I suddenly got powers, and what if I suddenly got all these tools for my favorite shows? Despite how fast-paced it was, I did at least enjoy that it kind of kept the theme, because, I mean, a lion suddenly popped up, and then I went into the African safari, so I kind of knew how to string out the plot together, sort of, kind of, eh? Overall, I would give it like a 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Ghost Mutt. One dark, foggy night, and a dog was forced to. That's all I wrote. Now, some interesting facts about this story. This story was written back in 2012, right after I drew a drawing of a ghost-like dog. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that drawing when I saw this notebook, so I don't know. Maybe if I find it before this video comes out, I'll show a picture of it. In terms of what the story was about, I think I had an idea where a dog was forced to be in a dog fight and ended up becoming a ghost in the story, but I thought that was too dark, so I didn't end up writing it. Overall, I would give it like a 2 out of 10. Next up, The Ghost on Dead Street. No, stay back. No! I'm a young middle schooler. Now, I don't really have fear, at least I didn't, when I was walking home. And again, it just ends there. Fun fact about this story, according to the date on this journal, this was written the same day as Ghost Mutt. I guess I was in the mood to write horror stories, but not to finish them. Also, I think the name The Ghost on Dead Street is a reference to Nightmare on Elm Street, so maybe that's why I was such in a horror mood. lastly, we have Tuesday, again spelled TWO''S day. When I woke up one morning, and that's it. So I think the idea behind this story was I was still in a horror mood, so it would be like there's two of you, so it was like a doppelganger horror story. Overall, I would give it a 1.5 out of 10. Okay, so that's it for this notebook. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have this little guy. Now, while this notebook doesn't actually have any stories in it, it does have world building for a project that I shelved. So the project was called Project Isolation, and this project was a dystopian novel. In this dystopian novel, the main character and other people are subject to staying in a glass dome filled with toxic gas. Of course, everyone there wears gas masks, so they just live on their normal lives. Unbeknownst to them, the outside world is completely normal and safe, but they don't know that. The only exposure they have to clean air is in the hospital/nursery. It's in this time in the nursery that the main character, Subject 0514, otherwise known as Fern, finds out that there is an outside world. To be clear, he was in the nursery because his father worked there and forgot his bag, but yeah. Anyway, this notebook contains a lot of information on like the characters or the actual glass dome, but what I think is really cool is that I drew a diagram of the mask. Also, fun fact about the mask is that it actually has a tube somewhere on the mask that makes it so they could insert a tube which releases a nutritious sort of gas. Because, you know, in this world you can't eat anything obviously, because if you take off your mask, you're gonna die. But, you know, that's why the canisters were invented. Also, I guess I didn't really explain why I shelved it. I think what ended up happening was I was releasing this novel chapter by chapter on Wattpad, and I got super hyperfixated on trying to do good on Wattpad that the story suffered from it, and I thought it would be best to shelve it until I was a better writer. If you liked hearing about the story and you found it interesting, maybe I can make a video on it in the future. Again, I never really completed it, but I mean, I'll share what I have. Lastly, I want to talk about this notebook. Contained in this notebook are character notes and also world building notes for another project that I shelved. This one was a science fiction book. The pitch for the world building of this book is that society has gotten so advanced that they're starting to replicate and change DNA. So there are a few implications when you're trying to edit DNA, right? So I'm playing around with the idea a little bit. But the main focus of the story is that at the age of 18, every person has the option of choosing a special ability from a pill. So with this pill, you could either choose a standard one or an unstable one. For the stable pill, you can drink it, gain the abilities, but they're relatively weak because of that. Or you can get the unstable pill, and they become more powerful, but they affect you physically. For example, if you wanted to choose the unstable fire pill, you would be able to use your own body heat to make that fire hotter. But because you're using your own body heat, you might experience hypothermia. So as you can see, that's what this is. So I have all the abilities right here, and I have the enhanced and the standard version. And then I also have different character sheets with like their goals, ambitions, stuff like that. Yeah. I would love to know what you guys think of any of the stories or world building ideas I shared today. So yeah, those are all the handwritten writing things I have. If you guys liked this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you want to follow my writing journey, feel free to subscribe to my channel. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. This is Mateo Leon Rodriguez, Authortube extraordinaire. Thank you for watching my video. You could find another one there.